Hi, everybody. I'm Mackenzie. Welcome to Unfiltered Legends. In each episode, John the Legend Boker talks to pool and spa people, professionals, service techs, pool owners about their experiences. The ups, the downs, the funny, and the sad. Well, actually, they filter out the sad. We're here to entertain, but you might learn a few things along the way. In today's episode, we meet a true industry legend. Thomas Flake recently joined an innovative band of rebels at the Pool Group in Dallas-Fort Worth. It may seem like destiny to follow your father into the pool business, but Thomas knows better than to burn bridges and turn to the dark side. This one might be a trilogy. Enjoy.
Well, that's what I was fixing to ask if the freezer was too much.
We're on like episode 15. Jana is sitting next to a freezer, and Johnny won't stand next to the microphone.
I'm having a hectic day today already.
Legend. Today, we're talking Wall Street IPOs, lifetime platinum memberships, and redneck hot tubs. Is this the Beverly Hillbillies? It's just another episode of Unfiltered Legends.
He lost all his money because he picked up a hitchhiker after Vietnam.
Y'all don't bungee cord y'all's trash cans?
First of all, we don't y'all's nothing. That is a rough start.
Just got more awkward.
There he is.
How are you?
Before we start, is that one of them fancy movie projectors in the ceiling there? You got like a 100-inch screen over there somewhere?
There's some crazy stuff that this thing can do. It's all controlled by Control4. Kids have their own little... They can actually play Xbox in any room, press pause, and go to another room and finish the game. They love it, but now they want a pool.
Well, you have a partial pool.
I do have a redneck hot tub.
Which is why we couldn't get cattle troughs last year.
Yep. I built a redneck hot tub out of a 6-foot round galvanized horse trough. It's got a variable speed pump by Hayward, and it's got a single cartridge filter by Hayward. It's got LED lights. It's got a camper water heater on it. Heats it with propane. Yeah, but you can't regulate the temperature. So you got to be careful. Don't drink and turn on the heater. Some friends were over, they're like, hey, your hot tub is steaming. 75 degrees outside. What are you talking about? Yeah, hot tub is 120 degrees.
You need to adjust that high limit sensor, buddy.
They do. They need to figure out something. We could have had lobster in that thing that night. I tried to find a 10-foot one, mid-COVID, so I didn't find that till like September, October. It took a while to get it.
Yeah, our cows just went without water troughs.
My bad.
Yeah, at my family's farm, the cows were actually drinking out of a 6-seat artesian. But Jana, I know how it works. We couldn't get any troughs either. No, we hear 18 months is a pretty good lead time on that, which is insane.
It's crazy. It's still, you have a hard time finding them. Anything that holds water, you can't find.
All right, Jana, you got your notes? Fire us off here.
But they're kind of creepy that you sent me.
What is that? What?
No, Thomas, I didn't know this, but in 2016, you finished Send.
Well, that says send. She's reading verbatim.
In the IPSA Clay Shoot Challenge.
Second.
Yeah, I won the gun every year, except for this year because I did not put my name in it. Everybody thought it was rigged because I'd won the pistol every year.
When'd you start clay shooting?
7 years ago. I started with Hayward just for fun and got into it. I love it now.
I'll tell you what, sporting clays is my favorite shooting sport. I've been doing it for a number of years. Love everything about it. You might hear a barking dog in the background. Is the reason I got into sporting clays because I don't like kicking birds off of the ground anymore, so I bought a dog. Not very many guys that shoot clays, and when you find somebody that does, I love everything, and that you're that good that you're winning all the shoots.
The funny part is you don't have to have an expensive gun. The gun I shoot with is my grandfather's gun, the pump. And I shoot against guys with over and unders that are $5,000 to $10,000. I shoot left-handed, so it discharges right in front of my face. Wow. So it's fun. I love it.
So this is the research I've done, Jana. See?
I was wondering why you were looking at all my stuff. I was curious.
It's kind of creepy, though.
I started realizing that a lot of the better interviewers know what they're talking about. So if people have social media, I looked across a few states.
I've traveled around.
Speaking of traveling around, let's find out how you got started. Jana?
This is Thomas Flake. He works for
The Pool Group.
Now, how did you get to be at the Pool Group?
Well, actually, I was working for Hayward Pool Products at the time, and I was traveling a ton. And Travis is one of my clients, and asked me if I would like to start staying home. And I said, sure, let's do this. He started the Pool Group. It was originally called Aquasense. Then he started the Pool Group because the Pool Group became multiple parts of the industry. We do hydroblasting, eco-finish, we do remodels, service, maintenance. So there's many different fingers of the company.
Thomas, what's your role with that company?
Jack of all trades, operations and sales.
You're not doing any hydroblasting yourself these days then?
If the job needs to be done, I'll get down in the hole too. Whether it's eco-finish or hydroblasting, I'll be in the pool.
So do you do hydroblasting in-house or do y'all source that out?
We do it in-house.
Wow.
We have the blue collar Lamborghini is what we call it. It's about a $200,000 machine. It's got a 300 horsepower diesel engine on it. Cut a 2x4 in half and 3 swipes.
So y'all are probably only the third or fourth company in Texas to do hydro demo.
Third. Yeah, any remodel we do for plaster, we always do hydroblasting. There's no bond coat. We go straight down to the gunite.
Those that aren't familiar with hydro demo, explain it a little bit with replaster.
Well, hydro demo, so your regular power washer at the house is 3,000 PSI. This machine is 40,000 PSI. Typical guy will just chip out around the returns or main drains and plaster right on top of it. What we do is we go all the way down to the gunite shell. So what's left is 80% gunite, 20% plaster. We take it all the way down to the better bond to the gunite shell, and it's a better product.
Thomas, tell me about the Pool Group as a company. How big is it and what kind of geography do you cover?
Well, we're a startup company. So right now there's currently 8 employees. We cover DFW. And that goes all the way out to Paradise, Texas to Rockwall. Aquasense's been around for about 13 years. The Pool Group just got started back in July, I think it was. Some of the tools that we have, nobody else has in the Metroplex. The hydroblasting and the eco-finish, both are one of 3 in the Metroplex. The owners of the Pool Group are great. It's all about family. They really do care. If we don't handshake, we hug.
Is the chlorine shortage giving you heartburn? If so, reach for borates. Borates, like those in ProTeam Supreme. They help keep water balanced so your sanitizer works better. They work with all sanitizers and they're the perfect complement to salt chlorine pools. Ask your supplier about ProTeam Supreme or ProTeam Supreme Plus. Visit ProTeamPoolCare.com to learn more.
So how does that compare to your previous experience with Pool Corp, Hayward?
Skip.
He remembered the rules.
I'm totally kidding. All those other companies have been great. I've had some of the best bosses. So I've worked for Pool Corp for 12 years, I think it was. I worked for, Jetline. I worked for Riverbend Sandler. All those companies have been great. I mean, they're all family-based, but traveling, when I was at Pool Corp, I was traveling 45, 47 weeks a year, Monday through Friday. And it was tough. And that's the reason I left Pool Corp then, was because of my family. My youngest daughter wouldn't let me hold her anymore. So that's one of the reasons why I left, and every company that you leave, you just want to do it like a stepping stone. Don't ever burn bridges, whatever you do. There's a reason why you left, to grow. When I left Jetline to go to Hayward, it was just because of growth. Then when I left Hayward, it's all about being home and family. And, another growth is my kids are growing up. And I want to make sure I'm home for that.
Yeah, one of those things that a lot of people don't understand is they look at salespeople in the pool industry or any other industries like, man, you guys are living the jet set life. You're traveling and staying in all these hotels and doing this. And you're like, yeah, no, it ain't that glamorous, man. It really is not.
I'll tell you this. I had a guy back in the day when I was with Pool Corp. He told me, he goes, man, it must be nice to be able to jet set, stay all these luxury hotels and all this. I said, you know what? I will give you every mile, every point that I got just to be home with my family. I will give it all to you. You can have everything you want. You can stay any hotel or go fly anywhere you want. I mean, we were at 1,000,000 miles on Continental at that time. I was platinum and diamond with Marriott, Starwood at the time, and with Hilton, all at the same time. I mean, that's a lot of
nights.
It's a lot of nights, and it's not a glorious life because you're at a hotel and you go see a client, come right back. Very little dinners at that time because, I mean, you're just pushing data. At that time with Pool Corp, we were growing retail stores. So we'd come in and inventory a store. So we'd be there early in the morning. Then we'd leave their store and go to back to the room and clean up all the data. And we would clean data up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's not a luxury of life.
Yeah.
You know, it pays the bills.
I almost we had to buy a new bed. I told my wife, I go, let's buy a Hampton bed. Let's just buy it because I'm familiar with this bed.
Hey, funny you say that. On my bed is Home 2 Suites. Sheets. Whatever chain I would go to, I would buy their sheets.
I just need like 2 more years to get lifetime at Hilton, and then I'm making the switch.
Yeah, I'm titanium lifetime with Marriott.
Yeah. And I don't know what the question was I started asking, but go ahead, Bereza.
I was going to say, you went to the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville.
Correct.
You went to SMU.
Correct.
And you are the only SMU alum that I know that wasn't paid by a recruiter to go there. So you've joined a select company.
You're correct. I was not.
So how did you get into the pool industry?
Well, it started 47 years ago. My parents had sex. And so actually, no, I was actually born and raised in the pool industry. That probably have to take that out. No. But my parents would be embarrassed on that one. So it's actually started, I was born and raised in the pool industry down in Houston. Northwoods Pool Supply is my parents' company, or my family's company. Got started when we were kids. My parents would take us to school, in the elementary school, then they'd pick us up and we'd go do pools. We would service, maintenance. If my mom didn't pick me up, it was my grandmother or my uncle or my aunt, but we all went to work. Started the pool industry when I was an infant. They do retail, service, maintenance. So getting started, that's how I got started, I was born into it. Then when I was in middle school, I got into sports medicine. So I was a trainer all the way from middle school through grad school. You know, I started off, I got a scholarship to Howard Junior College out in West Texas, out in Big Spring, then went to SMU to finish up my undergrad in sports medicine. Then I went to grad school at Arkansas. And in between there, I worked for the Houston Oilers at the time too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did my internship with them. Purdue's last year and Fisher's first year.
Nice. What got you into sports medicine?
I had really bad asthma growing up. I decided to get into it. Loved it. It was great. And just got burned out when I got into grad school. And so I went back home and decided that I was going to try to figure out what I was going to do. I actually had a interview with Andrew Bostwick at the time. His name, it was with A.O. Smith back then. And then he got me an interview with Dave Cook. So I interviewed with Dave, and then I interviewed with Mike O'Neill. And that's how I started with Pool Corp.
You went right to the top. Was there pressure on you to work for the family business?
There was. There always has been. But the problem is with the family business is that it's tough to leave it behind at night. It's really tough on, the stressful years. I mean, there's been, back in the 80s, just pay your employees. Don't worry about getting a paycheck.
Enjoy the show? Stay on the know on all Legendary Pools and Spas tutorials, interviews, and articles by following Legendary Pools and Spas on Facebook at Legendary PLS. Have an idea for an episode or want to learn more about a topic? Shoot us a message. Click like and follow Legendary Pools and Spas on Facebook at Legendary PLS.
Your parents' retail store, they have like a mini museum of old, super old pool stuff right over the register.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to go there.
Yeah, they live in Houston, still up and running. When we used to inventory these stores all throughout the country, I'd call my uncle, hey, I got this part here. He's like, yeah, just throw it away. I'm like, wow, if you say throw it away, then that means throw it away.
Right.
That is always.
Like they even have like the old artisan cleaners.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been, the old artisan days. I mean, there's some old product out there still to this day. You see it out there. So, but this freeze probably took care of this old stuff.
Thomas, that's a phenomenal transition because let's talk a little bit about this freeze. I looked up some numbers. So You had the coldest recorded temperature in Texas on February 16 with 13 degrees. Freezing temperatures for 44 consecutive hours, 45 degrees or colder for 8 straight days. Tell me a little bit about what happened in Texas and what's going on right now.
Well, what happened in Texas, we're not made for it. We're just not. From pools to roads, not made for it at all. We don't winterize here because it's funny when you cross the Red River, they winterize. They actually close pools, put covers on them. But when you get into Texas, it doesn't happen. And so everybody was not ready for it. It didn't matter what speed or what brand you had some issues. Pumps can't keep up with it. I mean, at those temperatures, those single digit temperatures, you're better off shutting it down and just start pulling plugs and valve covers off. It just can't keep up. It didn't matter what brand it was. It's broken right now.
Well, the other side of that is that they shut the power off to everybody. So you couldn't even keep the pumps running and things from freezing.
Correct. And the bad part about it is when they shut the power off, it was 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So when they woke up that morning at 5, 6, 7, whatever, it's already done. I mean, water was freezing within 30 minutes. It's not a pleasant sight. So right now, during COVID, we were already short on product. Coming from the manufacturer side, you had to cut back on the manufacturing side of it. So they were already lacking product and distribution. And then when the Armageddon hit, now you have nothing. I mean, you have no valves, 2-way, 3-way valves, check valves, even just regular old rainbow chemical resistant valves. Can't even find those right now. Something very basic. And some manufacturers are talking 3 to 5 months to get restocked. Some manufacturers are talking weeks. They're moving their product to here instead of other states. It's going to take some time, and people are losing their patience. Homeowners, they really are.
And of course, my concern is here in the South, it's warmer. We've already seen 80 plus days. Mm-hmm. We know what happens with this water. It gets mosquito infested. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the average homeowner really knows what to do.
They don't. So heaters are easy to reroute because a lot of the heat exchangers are busted right now. So we're routing a lot of heaters because heat exchangers, headers, can't find them. Can't even find a whole heater right now. I mean, you look at distribution and you cannot find a heater. I mean, you've got to put a ticket in. Hopefully when it shows up, you're going to be on there. There's not any more patience. Their pool's been sitting there for almost 3 weeks now. A lot of people are saying, hey, I want this fixed. I don't have a part, but I do have the whole good now. Would you like to change it out? If you have it still. It's very tough. Even for the homeowners, they have a hard time realizing that they're not the only one. But so a lot of them I've been pushing, talk about y'all's product, Supreme Plus. I've been pushing that on everybody. Hey, it'll take the carbon out of the water. This is the way to at least help right now. And liquid chlorine, liquid shock.
My head all went right to, if I'm in Texas, I got no equipment. I buy a sump pump, throw it in the pool, throw a vacuum hose on there, let that thing flop around in the bottom of the pool. Use Supreme Plus, throw some bleach in there. At least I keep things from turning to a swamp, I mean. Yeah.
I'm offering that right now to homeowners. Hey, buy a 45-pounder and I'll throw it in your pool. I'll come brush it in for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best I can offer right now. And it's just not like certain areas of the city. It's everywhere. It's the state period. So like in Houston, you get the hurricanes. Houston, Galveston, all those areas. But now we're talking about the whole state that was frozen over. Everybody needs product. And there's not enough service trade to keep up. I mean, the voicemails just keep on coming. It hasn't eased up in 3 weeks. The day after the thaw, I probably had close to 160 voicemails. I think yesterday I had 45. And the homeowners will keep on calling everybody they can. Hopefully somebody's got the product. Just nobody has the product. It's tough.
Yep. Oh, we take those phone calls every day too, buddy. Looking for chlorine tablets. You got any extra? Can you do this? The entire global supply chain is broken. Until the consumer starts to understand that, it makes our job as pool professionals extremely taxing. I mean, people's minds are going a little goofy right now, and you got to deal with all that stress and people yelling at you every day. And again, what do? You just got to be nice and keep explaining, listen, when we get it, we'll send it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, Johnny was 145 pounds before COVID. It's all stress eating right now.
Honestly, it is 35 pounds worth of COVID. I can tell you that.
I'm right there with him, so I can't say
We've all put on the pounds.
Freshman 15, I'm like freshman 150 right now. People need to realize, I'm having to bring product in from all over the country. I mean, luckily, I've got to work with some amazing people. So I have reached out to a ton of old coworkers. Hey, can you help me out? all I need is just a case of valves, case here, case there. I'll pay for shipping. I'll pay for, if I got to pay a higher price, that's cool. I have no problem, or like a filter or a heater. Hey, if I could just get one, that's all I need. It's just one. The problem is too, is like you get a lot of these people hoarding stuff in the pool industry right now. It's kind of like toilet paper. Everybody wants that toilet paper. I mean, now we've got how many 15 cases of toilet paper now. Everybody hoards it now in the pool industry. Honestly, the pool industry, we all got to start working together. Hey, I've got a 3-way. Do you need one? And that's what I've started doing is I've had, a lot of my old clients when I was with Hayward have called me, hey, can you help me find some product? And so I've been reaching out to a lot of my old sources, getting product. I'm having cases of valves delivered to the house and just saying, hey, this did come in for you. Do you still need it? Or how many do you need? Just trying to help people out.
And I'll tell you, I think that this has brought the industry together as a whole. From the manufacturer to the dealer, it really has. People are all in the same common place for once that we've never been in before. I think everyone's starting to realize that and say, hey, listen, can you help me out? Yeah, I'll do something for you. Can you do something for me? We haven't seen that. I started in 89. I haven't seen that. Everybody was always, I'm not dealing with that dude. No way I'm giving you anything. It's a completely different mindset.
It's crazy. I mean, like you talk about, that builder's a jerk. Well, now everybody's like, hey, do you have this? Do you have that? Especially 2-way, 3-way valves. It's a hot commodity right now.
The Texas Pool and Spa Coalition. What does it do, and what is your role in that organization, Thomas?
I no longer have a role in it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good.
Next question.
Good research, Bereza. Way to go on that research, buddy.
Your creepy research didn't pay off.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's why we never take notes.
I'm out of here on that one.
They weren't part of Pizzagate, were they?
No. So it was Texas Pool Spa Coalition. They've actually, I guess, another part of PHTA, if I remember correctly. They absorbed it, or still part of it, but absorbed it. They helped with legislation in the state of Texas.
Oh. If you're a single poler and you're trying to better yourself, what resources would you reach out to?
I reach out to IPSA, reach out to your chemical manufacturer, reach out to any of the manufacturers, period. They're all willing to help, especially on the big manufacturers. I mean, they all want to show how to use their controller, what the latest and greatest is. So I'd reach out to them. Reach out to distribution. Distribution typically has something going on a weekly basis to help the education.
So considering everything that's still going on right now with partial lockdowns and everything that's happening in Texas, how are you reaching new customers in your area?
Answer my phone.
Honestly, that's a great answer because one of my biggest pet peeves has always been people don't call you back. They don't answer a phone call. I mean, I might not be able to get to a call immediately, but I'll always call you back. And that's important, especially right now, to show who you are as a pool person, as an individual. It's important. So, yeah, if there's a message that obviously we can send out, is call people back.
My phone has been nonstop since we started this. It's just calling people back. And what I did too is to help grow our side of the business is I reached out to all my old clients. I mean, some parts they might be competition for us, but at the same time, they're our clients. So as in for the Hydroblast and EcoFinish, those are two that we can help out anybody. We're a resource for them. I went around to all my old clients and said, hey, here's my card. If you need anything, let me know. And what they'll do is if they don't service or maintenance, they give my number out and say, hey, call this guy. This is who we trust. This is who we use. So that's helped out a ton. I reached out to all my old builders to help me out. And it's grown our business. I mean, I'm working 7 days a week right now. Even during the freeze, I mean, I've helped out a bunch of people where I don't charge a service call. Probably something I should do. But at the same time, the ones that I helped that really just had a few little things they need to just tune up on their system or like the controller. It's like, hey, you don't owe me any money. If you need somebody needs help, just give them my number. It's all I ask. And just tell them to reference your name. You'd be surprised how many people I've picked up just from that.
Sure.
Not just helping people out. Even during the freeze, I was in my truck. I got a 4-wheel drive truck. I was driving around, I'm doing all the plugs, didn't charge anybody anything to help them out. And then after the freeze, everybody's asked me to come back and, help them to get everything back up and running. And then they asked for me to charge them. that little help has gone a long ways. But a lot of my old clients have given my number out because I know the Hayward stuff inside and out.
Now, kind of rewinding about 10 minutes ago, talking about Eco Finish.
Yes.
We know the Plungy pools are doing Eco Finish. What's your relationship with Plungy and what are y'all doing?
Well, that's a great question. With Plungy, so we do Eco Finish. Eco Finish is a polymer that they spray on those pools. We already also do it for regular gunite pools and also for fiberglass pools. It can be used on both. So for them, we're doing some of their warranty work. And also if they ever get in a bind, they call us and we go down there and Eco Finish some pools for them. On top of that, we're going to start installing Plungy pools. It takes about a week to install them. They're really neat. It's a concrete pool. You can put it in ground or out of ground. And they're really neat. They're really, really neat, in fact. We use a 200 square foot cartridge filter and a max flow 1.5 horse variable speed pump on it. VS Omni, in fact. A little 320 light and they're ready to rock and roll.
It sounds like the pool you have in your backyard.
Yeah, I might be getting one. So they use a crane to crane them in over homes and just like fiberglass pools. It's just they're a lot heavier. They're cool, modern looking. You can tile the outside of them or you can leave them like the raw concrete. They're unique.
I've actually got some design buddies, and I kind of showed him some designs and some books we've had for manufacturers, and he's like, no, it has to be a square. It has to be a perfect square and these sharp angles. And I showed him the Plungy pool, and he's like, damn, he already has one on order, and he was all frustrated by it because he knew no one else would have it too.
So here's my question for you, though. Great, we got this pool that we can supply, but do I have the plumbing? Do I have the equipment to put on that pool? How do you guys deal with that other than, hey, we got stuff on order and we're putting it together as soon as we get it?
As soon as they sign the contract, order the equipment. That goes for any kind of pool you put in. As soon as they sign the contract, order the equipment. Before you even dig the hole, order it. Because it's that kind of lead time right now.
Okay.
Or go ahead and order, even though you don't have the pool.
Yeah.
Get a couple job sets in. Especially for those little plungies. I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over. So maybe order 2 or 3 ahead of time.
Sure.
I mean, so that distribution has time. But any pool period right now, go ahead and order the equipment. As soon as they sign the contract, don't hold off. And that's got to be a different mindset for everybody now.
Yeah.
No matter what purchasing side of it, go ahead. As soon as the contract is signed, you order it. Before pool guys, we would say, all right, I need the equipment. I'll go buy it today and pick it up. Well, it's not there if you want to buy it today. So you need to pre-purchase.
Gone are the days of drop shipping equipment at the job site.
Correct.
Because it will get stolen.
Yeah. I was nervous when I had those valves delivered here at 9 o'clock at night. I was really nervous that I wasn't going to make it home in time to get them inside.
Did you just publicly admit that you have valves?
I do.
I've got 2 cases.
I got 6.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it.
I know where you live.
No, yeah, I did. I bought some valves from another state and paid a little extra for them, but I got them. I can take care of the client.
So obviously you're at home. You got the kids. They got their theater room. They got their sweet pool in the backyard. Any of them shown any interest in getting into the pool industry themselves?
So I take them with me when I do have them. We go pick them up from school, and I take them sometimes to job sites. See if that's something they want to get into. We're working on my son right now. He's good with math, so we're working on hydraulics.
Wow.
Yeah, he's way smarter than me. Way smarter than me. He tells me too. Trey is 14. He is 14 going on 24.
I always find that if you've got some bad news to give a customer, if you could bring a young child with you, They tends to smooth things over.
Yes, it does. They saw the sales part of it. Like when I was with Hayward, I would take them to tabletops, and we talk about the product before I get there, and then they would help pitch. They're a great pitcher. I mean, they were great. My daughter's awesome. You will not get away without buying something. You can sell ice cream Eskimo.
To be continued next week on Unfiltered Legends. Here's a sneak preview.
I hope to God they wouldn't get into pool business.
How do I turn on my system? They're drunk.
I learned how to make the most epic ranch water.
There's nothing left.
A lot of these come out of Ukraine.
The Emperor has been expecting you.
Maybe you creeped on the wrong breezy.
Unfiltered Legends is recorded using Squadcast and Zencaster. Our show is hosted by Podbean, edited on Adobe Premiere Pro with licensed music from Soundstripe. How do you like the show? We want to hear from you. Contact us at legend@havilandusa.com or leave us a message, 616-365-9515. Unfiltered Legends is brought to you by Haviland Pool and Spa. Creative pool chemistry since 1968.